Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Remember to vote in the poll and like and subscribe for better animal handling checks next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Fl4k from Borderlands 3. Despite their artificial construction, Fl4k has managed to develop a profound connection with the various beasts roaming the Borderlands. Could be part of their programming, but I'm chalking it up to their rich baritone voice. They don't call him Pro ZD for nothing.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need a good boy. While playing the game, I was tricked into believing that the skag's name was Mountain Chew, not Mr. Chew. In my mind, the canonical name is Mountain Chew, and if the Borderlands team doesn't like that, they can increase the size of their font so I can read it while playing the game. To upgrade Mr. Chew to Mountain Chew, we need the ability to make things grow to abnormal size. Finally, Mountain Chew needs to vomit acid on everybody, and I just realized all of my goals are Mountain Chew related. But because of a subclass we're taking later, that's fair. We're basically building two characters today. So let's get some goals for Fl4k themselves. First, we need to be a hell of a shot with excellent marksmanship. Second, we'll get the ability to turn invisible to fill out another skill tree, even if it's the wrong skill tree, Master for Life. Finally, we'll make sure that we can branch out and befriend any animal, even if they won't be as strong as the Mountain of Chew. For stats, we're using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just make sure you're keeping multi-classing minimums in mind. Wisdom will be our top stat. We need it to become the best friend of every good boy and girl in the Borderlands, which means animals, everyone else is shades of neutral to evil. Dexterity after that, aiming requires finesse, and you've got great aim. Charisma next, we'll need it for some spells, and like I said, Pro ZD really nails that voice. Fl4k instantly endears themselves to everyone they meet, even if they're kind of a weirdo. Follow that up with Constitution. Survival is a challenge in the wastes. Intelligence is a bit on the low end, but we'll dump strength because we can mitigate it later with skills and saving throw proficiencies. We don't really need it for anything else. For race, Warforged is going to be finalized officially in like a week, so sorry if they change it. But that's what Fl4k is. Specifically a Skirmisher Warforged, they'll get +2 Dexterity and +1 Constitution. Swift for 5 feet of extra movement, and Light Step to let you travel stealthily at a normal pace while you're by yourself. All Warforged get Warforged Resilience, giving you advantage on saves against being poisoned, resistance to poison damage, immunity to disease, and you don't have to eat, drink, sleep, or breathe, and don't suffer exhaustion from a lack of sleep. Instead of sleeping, you just power down for a sentry's rest, letting you get the benefits of a long rest, but also staying alert. If I had to take a stab in the dark to what will be changed upon official release for this race, I'm guessing it's going to be integrated protection. It's a little busted. This lets you decide how heavy you are at the end of a long rest to determine your base AC. Darkwood Core gives you AC equal to 11 plus your dexterity modifier and proficiency bonus. Composite Plating gives you AC equal to 13 plus your dexterity modifier and proficiency bonus, but the buff from the dexterity can only max out at 2. Composite Plating will be better until we get a couple of ability score improvements, so I'd go for that right now to make sure your robo body can take as many hits as possible. For background, Outlanders get proficiency with athletics and survival. Both are very good for a Vault Hunter. Kick things off as a ranger, specifically a revised ranger because they're better. You get 3 skills from the ranger list. Animal handling, stealth, and perception would be my choices to make you the ultimate wilderness scout. You can pick a favored enemy. Humanoids encompass the Calypso twins and all their fanatic followers. This gives you advantage on tracking them with survival and investigation checks, and you get to deal +2 damage when you hit them with attacks. It's easier to blow up something's head when you know what part of their body is their head. Some of the monsters are a little hard to figure out. You're also a natural explorer, giving you advantage on initiative rolls, advantage on creatures who haven't acted in initiative yet, and you can ignore difficult terrain. There's also a lot of great survival bonuses with this that I'm not going to get into, but you can look it up online, it's free. Second level rangers get to pick a fighting style. Archery is fitting for the best shot in the Borderlands. Well, maybe the best shot, like tied for first. You get +2 to attack rolls with ranged weapons, making you more accurate. You can also cast some spells. Animal Friendship charms a beast that fails a wisdom save of 8, plus your proficiency bonus and wisdom modifier for 24 hours, or until one of your allies attacks them. But if any ally attacks Mountain Chew, they're not really an ally, are they? Cure Wounds lets you heal a creature 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier as an action, helping you keep your beastie buddy in tip-top shape. Speaking of beastie buddy, let's get a beastie buddy. Third level rangers can choose a conclave, and the Beast Conclave lets you pick an animal companion. There are some good options, but I'd say wolf is the most similar to a skag. If your animal dies, you can resurrect it in 8 hours with a mixture of herbs and spices. Apparently Mountain Chew really likes the kernel. You have a companion's bond, which makes your wolf special. More special than he already was, that is. That little murder machine. It uses your proficiency bonus instead of its own, and can add that proficiency bonus to its AC and damage rolls, as well as gaining proficiency with all saving throws. It gets proficiency with 2 skills of your choice. A wolf already has perception and stealth, so I'd go for acrobatics and athletics to be more nimble and strong. Your beast will also also level up with you, getting new hit die every level. For a wolf, that's a D8, and it gets ability score improvements when you do, basically adding a new party member that really likes to only use one specific melee attack. You know, a fighter. You also get primeval awareness, letting you determine how many of your favorite enemy are in a 5-mile radius and what direction they're moving in, as well as calm down any animal and make it non-hostile. It's kind of weird that these two abilities are both under the same title because they're very different things, but hey, I don't make the rules, I just get them wrong professionally on the internet. Finally, you can learn another spell. Hunter's Mark lets you pick a target to deal an extra D6 damage to with your weapon attacks for up to an hour, depending on your concentration. It only takes a bonus action, so line up your shot and make some heads go boom. 4th level rangers get an ability score improvement. Bump up your dexterity and round up your wolf's dexterity and intelligence. Now it's only a -3 modifier instead of a -4. Mountain Chew is basically a scientist, but we're not here for smart doggo, we're here for big doggo. So let's take a trip to big doggo land. 1st level sorcerers get to pick a sorceress origin, and this really doesn't matter, we're just here for spells. So Draconic Bloodline gives you +1 HP for every level in the class. With Draconic Resilience, I'd go for that, I guess. And you have advantage on charisma checks with dragons. Just think of them as big, intelligent lizards and you'll do fine. One small issue, most of the spells I want are 2nd level spells, so let's just get through these quickly. For cantrips, Mending repairs a small crack in something, helping you keep your gear working in the Borderlands. Create Bonfire creates a small bonfire for camping, but it also deals 1d8 fire damage to enemies inside that fail a dexterity save of 8, plus your proficiency bonus and charisma modifier, so you can use it for more than keeping Mountain Chew warm at night. Light creates a light. Warforged don't have dark vision, seeing is important. Infestation feels in line with the character. You send a bunch of mites or fleas at someone, forcing a constitution saving throw on the creature. Failing that, they take 1d6 poison damage and move 5 feet in a random direction, unless they're blocked. Bugs are still animals, they're just really small animals. For your 1st level spells, jump triples your jump distance for 1 minute. Flak can get really vertical, and your negative strength modifier isn't doing that justice. Shield lets you add 5 to your AC as a reaction for the rest of the turn. I'm a dummy and said it was for only 1 attack in the Sans video last week, whoops. With integrated protection, this will get insane at higher levels, so look forward to that. And use those special new guns that come with shields attached to them. Quick note, you're multi-classing spellcasters here, so check out page 165 of the player's handbook to figure out how many spells you have at any given level. 2nd level sorcerers get a Font of Magic with sorcery points you can use to recover spell slots. I'm assuming Cure Wounds is getting the most use, so keep you and your pupper happy and healthy. For this level spell, Long Strider increases your movement speed by 10 for a minute, making your base speed 45, so you can actually move faster than your skag. 3rd level sorcerer is what we're here for. You can learn 2nd level spells like Enlarge Reduce. With this, you can increase the size of your wolf, give it advantage on strength checks and saves, and deal an extra d4 damage with its attacks. You don't have to use this on your wolf necessarily, and can apply the reverse effect to a creature as well. They can make a constitution save to resist if they don't want to be huge or tiny. Tiny I get, but who doesn't want to be large and in charge? You also get meta magic, letting you spend sorcery points to augment your spells. Extended spell doubles a spell's duration. All your sorcerer spells are buffs, so you really want to make them last as long as possible. Quicken Spell lets you cast a spell as a bonus action that normally takes an action, so you can make Mountain Chew into the mountain and shoot someone in the same round. 4th level sorcerers get another ability score improvement. Bump the dog's dexterity for more damage and AC. Round up your constitution and charisma for better spells, concentration, and HP. The spell I'm really looking to buff here is Dragon's Breath. This lets you give a creature you touch a breath attack, creating a 15-foot cone that forces a dexterity save, dealing 3d6 cold, fire, lightning, or poison damage to those that fail, half to those that succeed. Teach your wolf how to vomit acid, but keep in mind this is concentration. You have to choose between Mountain Chew or Mr. Chew that vomits Mountain Dew. Back over to Ranger now. 5th level Rangers can learn 2nd level spells. Pass Without Trace gives you and allies within 30 feet of you +10 to stealth checks for up to an hour depending on your concentration. It's not technically invisibility, but +18 to stealth checks is pretty close, and unlike the spell invisibility, you can keep this up after your attack, meaning that you might not blow your cover or can at least get back into cover quickly. You also get Coordinated Attack, letting your beast make an attack using its reaction when you take the attack action on your turns. This basically guarantees that the beast is getting 2 attacks per round, even if it removes a reaction for other opportunity attacks. Unfortunately, this takes the place of extra attack, so to quote our companion, rough. 6th level Rangers get improved favorite enemy, buffing your damage to +4, giving you advantage on saving throws from abilities and spells of your favorite enemy, and letting you pick an additional type of enemy. Constructs would cover robots, so that should help you deal with Malawan, even if it feels bad killing your kin. Though Flak doesn't really care about killing anything, so I don't know if they'd care. 7th level Beast Rangers get Beast Defense, giving your companion advantage on saving throws as long as it can see you. Sure, you can resurrect your pet, but like, why go through all that? Just keep it alive. You can also learn another Ranger spell. Locate Object tells you the location of an object you're familiar with within 1,000 feet of you, and if it's moving, what direction it's going in. It lasts for 10 minutes, depending on your concentration. Fl4k has objective markers, and they are incredibly useful. 8th level Rangers get another ability score improvement. Camp your dexterity and your wolves for maximum damage. You also get Fleet of Foot, letting you dash as a bonus action, so if you really need to cover ground, you can go 135 feet in a single round with a dash action and a double dash bonus action. Pairing this with Jump will help you get to the high ground and pick people off, with Mountain Chew doing his thing on the ground. Remember when I said we didn't get an extra attack? Let's work on fixing that. First level fighters get to choose a fighting style. Dueling will help you if you want to get up close and help your wolf take advantage of its pack tactics, adding 2 to the damage when you attack a creature with a weapon you're holding one-handed, like a knife. You also get Second Wind, which lets you heal 1d10 plus your fighter level as a bonus action once per short rest. I tend to abuse this in the Borderlands games, but you don't even have to murder anyone to get this bonus, so it's very, very good. 2nd level fighters get Action Surge, letting you make an additional action once per short rest. Keep in mind, if you're using a heavy crossbow, which is what I would recommend for a sniper rifle, you can only fire it once per round without reloading. We'll fix that in a second here, but for now, just use a longbow. It's pretty much the same thing. It's even got slightly better range, but uses a D8 instead of a D10. Fl4k could kill someone with anything. I'm sure they can handle a bow. 3rd level fighters can choose a martial archetype. The champion is simple but effective. You get improved critical, letting you land a critical hit with a 19 or a 20. Critical hits are a big deal with sniper classes in Borderlands. Make sure you're not falling behind your predecessors. 4th level fighters can choose an ability score improvement or a feat. The Sharpshooter feat lets you fire at long range without disadvantage. You can ignore all but full cover to hit those dummies who leave the top of their head poking out of cover, and you can take a -5 penalty to hit for +10 to the damage. Considering your attack modifier is +12 with ranged attacks at this point, I'm sure you'll get by with only +7. Almost forgot your wolf can't take feats, but it can get another ability score improvement. More constitution will give it more HP, which means it won't die as fast. Funny how that works. 5th level fighters get an extra attack. Better late than never, but speed your shots up to deal more damage. It's great. If only we could fire twice with a heavy crossbow in one turn. 6th level rangers get another ability score improvement or a feat. The crossbow expert feat lets you fire multiple rounds with a crossbow on the same turn. You don't have disadvantage at melee range and can fire another shot with a hand crossbow as a bonus action when you take the attack action. Pairing this with sharpshooting, you can actually probably deal more damage with a hand crossbow than a heavy one, but I don't want to tell you how to live your life. More constitution for Mountain Chew here. Big dog is best dog. That's just a fact. 7th level champions are remarkable athletes, letting you add half your proficiency bonus to any strength, dexterity, or constitution check with which you do not have proficiency, and add your strength modifier to long jump rolls. But don't, because yours is negative. Whoops. Our capstone is the 8th level of fighter. For one last ability score improvement, both you and your dog can get thicker with more constitution, and it'll help you maintain your concentration on Enlarge or Dragon's Breath, depending on what you want Mountain Chew to do. I would recommend having him do the Chew. His bite attack is pretty great. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, Mountain Chew is a heck of a good boy. With over 100 HP, 21 AC, advantage on all saving throws, a positive modifier for all of them, and the ability to get big and barf acid, you've basically got a slightly weaker fighter that's just part of your kit. Fl4k isn't a slouch either, with a crossbow expert sharpshooter combo letting them pump out great damage. Finally, you've got a lot of great buffing spells and some extra slots to use to power up your pupper and any other party members you have. For weaknesses, almost all of your buffs require concentration of some kind, meaning you've got to pick and choose. You're also lacking magical damage beyond the skag spit, meaning thicker hided foes may be trouble. Finally, we mixed casting modifiers here and then ignored both of them, so Mountain Chew may struggle to do the do. But he's so good at chomping, how could I say anything bad about him? Send in the skag, line up your shots, and show everyone why teamwork makes the dream work. Just remember, when it comes down to it, you're just a person with a dog, so maybe call up a siren once you actually open the vault. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe for more. We make 2 builds every week and actually have 2 more builds coming this week. Come back on Thursday for our 100th episode and vote in the poll for Shao Kahn, Kung Lao, or Raiden from Mortal Kombat.